Arkansas state troopers are reporting as many as 6 deaths in a charter bus crash in North Little Rock along Interstate 40 and U.S. Highway 167 interchange.
Yeah, good morning, Alicia. I've stepped out of the frame for a little bit so you can see actually what's going on right now. The tow truck company is hooking up this bus in order to move it from the scene. We are really close to where the 430 or the 4030 interchange actually is.
So we have several of the passengers. We will provide them with emergency shelter in a local hotel.
I have confirmed that 8 people have been taken to local hotels by the Red Cross. 6 others were transported to the hospital, 3 to UAMS, 3 to Baptist Health. 2 of those people at UAMS have now been discharged. The 3rd person is in fair condition. There are also 6 other people who have died in this accident. 3 of them were found dead in the bus crash, which was behind me moments ago. The other 3, tragically, their bodies were actually strewn across the interstate. That's why several lanes of traffic were blocked for a while. This accident happened about 1:30 a.m. and it was only cleaned up fully about 15 minutes ago.
6 people are dead and several injured in a charter bus accident in North Little Rock. That bus was traveling west here around I-40 167-67 interchange around the North Hills Boulevard exit.
Now the bus was traveling westbound on I-40. Like you see the traffic beside me. From what I understand from both the state police and the tow truck drivers who actually hauled away the debris and the wreckage, the bus ran up against this barrier. And you can kind of see it if I get down. It's slanted a little bit. The wheels went up on it. Now, as it approached the bridge, that's why when you see the actual damage to the bus, it's on the right-hand side, the top right-hand corner, because the bus was tilted when it ran into the bridge. It canned the top of that bridge, and that's where most of that damage is on the right-hand top corner of the bus. Now, the bridge doesn't look damaged at this point, but we are going to reach out to AHDD and find out whether or not they're going to have to inspect this bridge because the impact was pretty hard.
Good evening. We are learning new information tonight about a deadly bus accident in North Little Rock that left 6 people dead. The charter bus was traveling from Michigan to South Texas when it hit an overpass, ripping off the top rear of that bus. Right now, the National Transportation Safety Board is sending investigators here to find out what happened, how this accident happened. Jordan Bonnke is live for us tonight with what we know right now. Jordan.
Beth, just less than an hour ago, we got information from state police of the survivors that were on that bus. Most of them from Mexico, some from Florida. Where I'm standing right now is actually where the bus ended up after hitting that North Hills overpass headed west on I-40. A very scary scene for the over 20 people that were inside that charter. 6 people were killed in a charter bus accident around 1 a.m. Friday morning.
This is a tragedy.
The charter was headed west on I-40 when it hit a concrete barrier, then the North Hills overpass. The bus now sits at a North Little Rock towing company waiting for an NTSB investigation. It appears the front of the bus made it through the overpass, but the top rear was ripped off. Of the 6 that were killed, 3 were ejected from the vehicle, 1 partially ejected, and 2 were still in the bus.
The bus driver could speak English.
22 people were inside at the time of the accident, many of them migrant workers. State police tell us Homeland Security helped with the language barrier. The bus was traveling from Monroe, Michigan to Laredo, Texas. A common route would be a total travel time of over 23 hours. Although not confirmed by police, passengers on the bus tell Channel 7 News the driver fell asleep.
Any federal violations or equipment problems with the bus will be investigated by the National Transportation Safety Board.
Police say it was only lightly raining at the time of the accident. Alcohol and drugs were not involved, and the driver agreed to be tested for both. The company the bus came from was Vasquez Citrus and Hulling from Florida. We reached out to them for comment and was hung up on several times. State police tells us that the NTSB is on their way here now. They'll be able to answer the questions on why and how this happened. From the banks of I-40 here, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Jordan Bonnke reporting live for us. Thank you. Good evening. We are learning new details tonight about the fatal bus accident happening early this morning in North Little Rock that killed 6 people. The charter bus was traveling from Michigan to South Texas when it hit an overpass on I-40. Channel 7 Stacey Spivey joins us now with a recap. Stacey.
Beth, the names of those killed are being withheld until all families are notified. However, we do now know the names of the survivors, including the driver. Neighbors of the people on the bus say they were migrant workers on their way to renew work visas. Around 1 a.m. Friday morning, this bus carrying 22 passengers from Michigan to Texas crashed on I-40.
The bus continued along the barrier until it struck the North Hills overpass, and then after that is when the bus continued on a few hundred more feet before it stopped.
The impact killing 6, ejecting 3, partially ejecting another, and injuring 6 more.
This is a tragedy.
But early Thursday morning, many of those passengers, including the bus driver, 28-year-old Roberto Vasquez, were leaving their home, Chestnut Hills Apartments in Monroe, Michigan. Their neighbors telling our station in Detroit several on board the bus were migrant workers, working and seasonally living there. Their destination, Mexico, by way of Laredo, Texas, to renew their work visas. The driver, Vasquez, is an employee of Vasquez Citrus and Hauling out of Lake Placid, Florida. The owner of Continental Charters in Detroit says he sold the bus to a Juan Vasquez last Saturday.
He told me he needed the bus to run down to Florida to take people from, I guess, the area around Detroit area here down to Florida or down to Texas. That's all he told me.
According to Arkansas State Police, 12 of the survivors are from Mexico, 3 from Florida, including the bus driver, and 1 is unknown, most of them in their 20s. Now those passengers are staying at a North Little Rock hotel, receiving help from the Mexican consulate and Red Cross. Beth.
All right, Stacey Spivey reporting tonight. Thank you.